90-Day Fiancé. Is Annie stopping David Toborowsky from returning to US? What about his other kids? Avid Toborowsky from 90-Day Fiancé may not be returning to the United States anytime soon, possibly due to his wife, Annie Sowen. David, a 56-year-old father of 4, met his soulmate, Annie, nearly a decade ago. He was drawn to her joyful personality and quickly proposed after only a few days of dating. As David learned more about Thai culture and traditions, he gifted his in-laws 2 water buffaloes in exchange for Annie's hand in marriage. David and Annie's journey to the altar was featured in 90-Day Fiancé Season 5. Over the years, David accomplished several of his goals and milestones. He improved his financial situation, overcame previous depression, and maintained a healthy lifestyle. David also dropped multiple pant sizes, becoming the fittest version of himself. He witnessed the birth of Annie's nephew, Navin. He recognized that Annie deserved the happiness of motherhood and began consulting doctors to find the best solution to fulfill her dream. David and Annie chose to undergo an IVF procedure and successfully became pregnant. They relocated to Thailand and welcomed their daughter, Minthaira, with their loved ones by their side. Annie is 2 months postpartum. David and Annie welcomed their daughter in March. However, they haven't returned to the United States yet, prompting rumors that they have permanently settled in Thailand. There are several reasons why David and Annie haven't yet moved back to their home in Arizona, but the most obvious one is Annie's postpartum journey. As of June 2025, Annie is only 2 to 3 months into her postpartum journey. Therefore, it is entirely understandable for her not to return to the United States yet, as she requires time and care to heal her body. Annie prefers to stay in Thailand because she has access to benefits and perks that are not available in the United States. She is much happier there because being there allows her to spend time with her family members. She can also rely on her mother and siblings to take care of her daughter, giving her time to focus on her personal goals. In Thailand, Annie gets the time she needs to recover. Therefore, it makes sense for her not to want to move to Arizona, as she doesn't have many people to care for her there. David is separated from his kids amid his stay in Thailand. Staying with Annie in Thailand may have caused David to be distant from his children in the United States. David, who has 3 adult children named Ashley, Brittany, and Jacob, may find it challenging to remain involved in their lives due to his additional responsibilities as a father to Annie's baby. A few years ago, David's oldest daughter, Ashley, expressed her concerns, stating that she disapproved of her father's new relationship. Ashley accused him of neglecting her and her siblings, saying that he should have been more present in their lives. David is making an effort to stay connected with his children despite living far away from them. He often likes and comments on his daughter's posts to show that he is involved in her life. David is also in touch with his son and recently shared the news that his son was marrying his soulmate. Although David is trying hard to keep in touch with his adult children, he would likely find it easier to maintain contact with them if he were in the United States. Living in Thailand has probably added unnecessary stress for David. Thailand is where Annie's dreams are. Annie isn't returning to America because of her new aspirations. She has developed new goals since moving to Thailand. A few years ago, Annie's primary objectives were to start a family and run her business. However, she has since changed her plans and now intends to pursue other dreams. She has decided to enter the agriculture business in Thailand with hopes of becoming a farmer. Recently, David discussed Annie's goals on his Instagram. Annie's dream is, well, these pictures should give you an idea. I am not saying I am a farmer, but that would be her dream. It appears that David feels compelled to remain in Thailand for the sake of his wife. He is committed to helping her achieve her dream of becoming a successful farmer and providing her with support. This is why he is unable to leave her in Thailand and go back to Arizona. In a recent post, David alluded to his future in Thailand while discussing Annie's dream. He mentioned selling one of his condos in Thailand to support Annie's dream, suggesting that he may eventually move to a more rural area of Thailand to help facilitate her farming aspirations. David's 3 children in the US are all adults. It's not incorrect to assume that David's prolonged stay in Thailand is related to his commitment to Annie. However, it's essential to acknowledge that David has few responsibilities in the United States beyond spending time with his 3 adult children. David's children from his previous marriage are now independent and living their own lives. They aren't young children who need David's help. Truth be told, David's children are scattered all over the United States, so even if he were to return to Arizona, it wouldn't make a significant difference. It appears that David is currently facing challenges as he works to maintain all of his relationships. He is unable to leave his wife, with whom he recently had a daughter, as well as his adult children, who had previously accused him of abandoning them. However, David has managed the long-distance situation effectively so far while residing in Thailand. He has stayed in touch with his kids through social media. The 90-Day Fiancé alum has also adapted well to Annie's family and culture, making Thailand feel like home and helping him avoid feelings of homesickness. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 release date, trailer, cast and everything we know about the reality series. The summer heats up in the 90-Day universe as 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 makes its debut. In what will be an interesting turn of events, Ed and Angela won't be seen this go-around, meaning other 90-Day alums will be front and center. Judging by the cast and trailer, the new season will still have plenty of drama, so longtime fans of the series likely have some must-watch moments to look forward to as the new episodes roll out. Want to know more about 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9? Let's dive into it. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 release date. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 premieres on Sunday, July 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time on TLC. The episode becomes available on Max and Discovery Plus the following day. If you cut the cord to traditional cable/satellite television and don't have a subscription to Max or Discovery Plus, TLC can be viewed on live streaming services such as Fubo, Sling TV, Hulu with Live TV and YouTube TV. In the UK, the series is expected to air on Discovery Plus. Here are the 8 couples featured on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 hours 90 minutes. Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 premise. Here is an official synopsis of the brand new season. This season shines a spotlight on the relatable and often chaotic reality of married life. From miscommunication, open relationships, family conflict, and new beginnings, viewers will witness the highs and lows that make love so unpredictable. For the first time ever, these couples aren't just facing drama within their own relationships, they're also weighing in on each other's. With intertwining storylines and unexpected interactions, the boundaries between the couples blur, revealing raw truths and surprising new bonds. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 trailer. The trailer certainly has us eager and ready to watch the season. We can't even determine what we're looking forward to seeing most. Check out the clip for yourself. Let's be honest, this 90-Day Fiancé throuple is a mess, and I think it's only a matter of time before it all falls apart. 90-Day Fiancé's throuple were hoping to improve their connection after discovering some souring news, so Matt Jalassi and Annie Aguirre decided to go on a date, just the two of them. However, I don't think their one-on-one time will help their throuple improve. Matt, Annie, and Imani Jalassi have had a whirlwind of issues the last few episodes. Some of the 90-Day Fiancé franchise stars have been caught in lies. Some of the stars were also involved in some big blows and arguments in the last few episodes. Their disconnect even caused them to sleep apart one night because they needed space after some intense conversations. However, to help overcome some of these issues and strengthen their bond, they thought letting Matt and Annie explore their connection would help smooth over the issues they're having. While I think that Matt and Annie having alone time is good in general for their relationships, I still think their throuple is on the verge of falling apart. The 90-Day Fiancé throuple isn't honest. I hate to say or think that Matt and Imani might be fetishizing polyamory in a way, but when I watch them sneakily try to manipulate the situation in their favor, my alarm bells start ringing. It doesn't matter if it's a couple, throuple, or an episode of Sister Wives, relationships are built and thrive off of communication, honesty, transparency, and trust, all qualities the 90-Day Fiancé throuple seems to be missing. Annie claimed she was more in love with Imani, but only referred to her as a friend, to outsiders. This declaration is what pushed Annie and Matt to go on a solo date in the first place. However, when the season started, Matt and Annie seemed to have a stronger connection, so I'm wondering if this is a ploy to bring them even closer together while potentially pushing Imani out of the picture. On top of that, Annie seems to be secretive about a lot of other issues in her life and has the married couple sending money to her ex-boyfriend. Overall, while having solo time will help Matt and Annie strengthen their connection, which in turn can strengthen the throuple, I don't think quality time is going to fix the lies and the uneven foundation they've built their relationship on. Thus to make matters worse, I think Imani is the ultimate villain here and is far more selfish than the rest of the clan. First and foremost, Imani chose to hide what Annie said from her husband. I understand Amani's desire to wait for the right time and when they were alone, but I think she could have made more of an effort to tell her husband sooner. I also think Amani is being selfish about forcing this throuple to work because she is clearly in love with any. I think she's forcing this situation to work but isn't following her husband's advice. Matt told his wife that her feelings came first and to see her hurt by Annie's actions changed his opinion of the throuple. Instead, though, I feel like she doesn't care about his point of view and just wants to make sure her needs and desires are satisfied. On top of this, now Amani's meeting with Annie's ex-boyfriend, and I'm wondering how many more red flags Amani needs to see before she's willing to move on from this situation. Overall, there's no denying that the throuple has a solid connection among them and perhaps, in a different life or circumstances, they may have been able to make their situation work. However, currently, based on where they stand, I'm not convinced that Matt and Amani should get divorced to marry Annie. I think they all have more work to do and I most definitely think Annie has too many red flags. All of them have children and I think they really need to consider either slowing down their plans or ending their relationships before more people get hurt. Where is 90 Day Fiancé star Pedro Jimeno today after his divorce from Chantel Everett? Update: 90 Day Fiancé star Pedro Jimeno was introduced on Season 4 alongside his then-wife Chantel Everett, but a lot has changed since his debut, including his relationship status. Fans are curious about where Pedro is now following his split from Chantel. TLC viewers first met the Dominican Republic native on Season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé, which premiered in August. The former flames were set up by a friend as Chantel was looking for a Spanish tutor and Pedro was looking for someone to help him with his English. The series showcased the couple's family drama as during that time Chantel was told by her friend, Obed Karaparan, that Pedro's mom, Lydia Morel, and sister, Nicole Jimeno, had a plan for Pedro to marry an American girl so he could send money back to his family. While Chantel struggled to get along with his family, her own family regularly alluded to the fact that they believed Pedro was using her for a green card. The couple went on to star on Seasons 2, 3, and 4 of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. When did Pedro and Chantel break up? After finding reality TV fame on the long-running franchise, Pedro and Chantel continued to document their relationship on their spin-off, The Family Chantel. The cracks in their marriage began to show during Season 4 of the series, which debuted in June. Throughout the season, Pedro accused his wife of being lazy, while Chantel had concerns over how close her partner was getting to some of his co-workers after forging a new career path in real estate. Unfortunately, after 6 years of marriage, In Touch confirmed that Pedro filed for divorce from Chantel in May. The split seemingly got messy as mutual restraining orders were also filed at the time. According to the court documents obtained by In Touch, Pedro and Chantel were restrained from doing or attempting to do, or threatening to do, any act that injures, maltreats, vilifies, intimidates, molests, or harasses the adverse party. 6 weeks later, Chantel filed her own counterclaims in July, where she accused the TLC alum of adultery and cruel treatment. Additionally, Chantel claimed that their marriage is irretrievably broken with no hope of reconciliation. The restraining orders went into effect on, according to paperwork exclusively obtained by In Touch. Season 5 of The Family Chantel, which premiered in November, documented the couple as they finalized their divorce. During the season, Pedro famously accused Chantel of taking $265,000 out of their joint bank account. The money only continued to be a topic and as it was referenced on screen during the Season 1 premiere of 90 Day Hunt for Love when Chantel was asked by a potential suitor what her ex would say about her during a steamy hot tub speed dating session. He probably would have a lot of words to say. One of which would probably be, "Where's my money?" Chantel said with a laugh during the May episode, alluding to her ex-husband as she mimicked his Spanish accent. "You took my money." When her date, Chris, asked if she actually took his money, she responded, "I took my money out of the bank account that we shared," adding, "I feel like he still owes me money." Where is 90 Day Fiancé's Pedro now? Pedro earned his real estate license in July. He began his sales career with the Laura Delgado Realty Group before transitioning to Berkshire Hathaway. According to the company's website, he has successfully closed 20 transactions totaling several $1 million.